On Saturday, the 10th of August, Shahrampur Mansoori, a high-security prisoner in Section 4 of Raja Shah Prison in Karaj, went on a hunger strike in protest against the inhumane conditions in prison and the violent behaviour of the prison authorities. 6 prisoners of conscience serving in Section 350 of Evin Prison, namely Reza Shahabi Zakaria, Feridun Sayyid Rad, Surush Sabet, Syed Hayari, Vahid Ali Golipur, and Syed Jalal Lifar, have gone on a hunger strike to protest the transfer of Syed Matinpur to solitary confinement in Section 240 of Evin Prison. For the second time in recent weeks, on the morning of Sunday the 18th of August, a large number of cinema goers gathered in front of the House of Cinema. This gathering was organised to protest the closing of the entrance to the cinema building. In a recent statement, Reporters Without Borders objected to the existence of arbitrary arrests in Iran.
Ebrahim Firouzi, a Christian convert, was put on trial before the Revolutionary Court of the city of Rabat Karim. During the trial, he was informed of his charges, which included attempting to set up a Christian website, being in communication with significant individuals outside of Iran who take issue with the Iranian government, holding online church sessions, and promoting Christian Zionism. In Isfahan, security forces barred an iftar gathering at the house of a member of Freedom Movement of Iran. In the last week, 160 Sunni political prisoners in the Rajai Shah prison in Karaj have gone on a 2-day hunger strike against the insult made against Sunnism by the mobile network provider, Iran Cell. The Revolutionary Court of Shiraz sentenced 4 Ghanabadi dervishes to 8 years imprisonment and 12 years exile. The 4 dervishes were accused of being a member of a group opposing the system, the group of Majzuban-e-Nur, with the intent of disturbing national security of the country and propaganda against the Islamic Republic of Iran. Based on these charges, Salahuddin Moradi Sarvestani was sentenced to 3 years imprisonment and exile to the province of Hormuzgan, and Farzaneh Nouri was given 2 years imprisonment as well as 3 years exile to the province of Khuzestan. Youssef Salehzadeh, a Kurdish citizen living in the city of Bukan, has been arrested and transferred to an unknown location. Until the publication of this report, there is no report available about the reason of arresting him and his location. During court session on Monday the 31st of July, which was held in the branch 28 of the Revolutionary Court of the city of Tehran, presided by Judge Moghiset, Firuz Hamidi, Abdul Jabbar Hassani, Kamal Qaderi, and Borhan Asgharian, Sunni citizens were sentenced to a total of 43 years imprisonment. On Tuesday the 23rd of July, Ahmad Nasiri, a Sunni prisoner in Rajai Shah prison in the city of Karaj, was again notified of his death sentence. Tanin Torabi, who was in the 3rd semester of her degree in English language translation at Imam Khomeini International University in Qazvin, was excluded from further study due to her belief in the Baha'i faith. The death sentence of 4 Arab political prisoners in the city of Shadegan, who were earlier convicted by the Revolutionary Court in Ahvaz, was approved by the Supreme Court.
In the last week, a prisoner accused of drug trafficking was hanged in the Parsilan prison in the city of Khorram Abad. Hamid Reza Farzaneh, an environmental activist, was arrested during a protest against the governor of Esteban city due to negligence with respect to the burning of 2,000 hectares of the Aras forest. A young man named Rahman, who is accused of aiding and abetting his cousin in the murder of an individual in a street fight, was sentenced to death by the court on the basis of qisas, i.e., the victim's family's legal right to demand the execution of the perpetrator. Master Hassan Damirci, an Azerbaijani civil activist, was sentenced to 6 months' imprisonment following receiving official court letter from the third branch of the Revolutionary Court of Tabriz.
Colonel Kambiz Esmaili, the police chief of the police in the city of Kerman, has announced the identification and subsequent arrest of a website manager in this province who had begun publishing songs and films on the website. Although more than a month has passed since the detention of a journalist, Ahmad Asghari, there has been no information on his condition. In further news, according to reports on Thursday the 18th of July, by a relative of the jailed journalist, Fariba Pajouher, Pajouher's nervous attacks, stemming from the harsh conditions of her 124 days detention, beginning in 2010, have restarted.
Arash Mohammadi, a leftist student activist, was sentenced to 6 months' imprisonment in the central prison of Tabriz, following a verdict read on Sunday the 21st of July by the third branch of the Revolutionary Court of Tabriz. Ali Akbar Motakan, Deputy for Administrative and Financial Affairs in the Ministry of Education, reported the authorization of a license to create 13 same-gender universities in Iran. Payman Samadi, a student blogger and critic, is currently serving his sentence in Evin prison. Mr. Samadi, a student of metallurgy at the University of Applied Sciences, was arrested for the first time by the intelligence services in October 2009. The workers of a dam called Darik Chai in Salmas have not been paid their wages for the past 8 months. Their employer has fired and sent home about 100 local workers in the past 2 months. In the previous week, the head of the Union of Ahvaz has announced that 300 contract workers from the construction company Solar in Ahvaz, who are supervised by the city's waste-water council, have not received their salaries for 4 months. On the morning of Monday the 22nd of July, a group of Kurdistan workers gathered in front of Islamic Parliament for the third day. The capital's police chief, Sardar Hussein Sajedinia, announced a plan to inspect the performance of photography and film studios and said that so far 48 studios have been identified as lacking permits and were shut down. The authorities have obstructed the transfer to hospital and medical treatment of Reza Shahabi Zakaria, who is suffering from neck and back problems as well as from high blood pressure. It has been reported that a union representative in the factory, Barak, in the province of Rasht, in relation to the failure to pay salaries and fulfill the demands of 250 workers, stated that the workers of the unit have not received any payment since February of last year. Free Union of Iranian Workers has stated that 2,400 workers of Profil Saver and Safanavad Pipes did not receive any wages for 4 and 2 months respectively. Furthermore, the Safanavad Pipes factory, due to the failure to pay their workers, has been shut down for repairs and services until mid-August. These two factories belong to one employer. A number of employees of the General Directorates of Youth and Sports in the province of Kermanshah, in a letter to Secretary of Kermanshah Province, demanded payments of their salaries arrears this year. Mohammad Reza Najafi Manesh, a member of Khodro Vehicle Parts Association, stated that from last year until now, at least 122,000 workers in the vehicle parts industry have lost their jobs due to economic fluctuations.
Mahmoud Taghi Karoubi, the son of Mr. Karoubi, has given news of the physical and psychological condition of Mehdi Karoubi following his transfer to the hospital twice during the past week. According to recent reports, Mohammad Nourizad, the author of the scarred defense, once again was summoned to the court. Mohammad Nourizad was previously a principalist, or a religious conservative journalist, who after the 2009 elections took the side of the people and wrote letters of criticism to the supreme leader. He was summoned to the court on numerous occasions and has served time in prison. The former student activist and honorary member of the Human Rights Commission of Lawyers, Afshin Karmian Nasab, was given an exit ban and thereby barred from leaving the country. The transfer to hospital of Syed Ahmad Hashemi, the former Director General of Inspection of the Ministry of Interior of the government, Syed Muhammad Khatami, has been prevented due to the fact that he refuses to accept the stated conditions that he publicly repudiates the leaders of the Green Movement. According to reports received on Wednesday the 24th of July, due to the deterioration of the physical condition of Hassan Ronaghi Maliki, and the withholding his medication due to the bleeding of his stomach, the authorities have resisted transferring him to the hospital. After 47 days of hunger strike and nearly 20 months of solitary confinement, concerns for the condition of Arash Sadeghi remains. Reports state that the condition of 5 political prisoners on hunger strike in Tabriz prison has deteriorated. More than 150 prison guards from Evin prison, together with reinforcements sent from Ghazal Hisar prison, raided Section 350 of Evin prison. Their actions caused damage to the prisoners' personal belongings and even damaged the prison itself, their action including damaging the air conditioning, sockets and electrical wiring. The army commander of Hamadan province, Ghulam Ali Abu Hamza, said, "The hijab problem will not be solved through mere reminders." Rather, he advised that the problem of bad hijab should be solved through methods of force and beating. From Sunday the 21st of July, the phone lines of political prisoners in Karun prison in Ahvaz have been cut. Prisoners who until now were permitted 1 3-minute-long telephone calls every other day have now been prohibited from this activity.